Here's the kicker, Aldrich Rosas, ready to get us going. And off we go from Seattle. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
On the carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wilson on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On first down, Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Alec Ogletree in on the stop. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen. And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. Yeah. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. Wilson now off the bootleg. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the stop that time, it's William Gay.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Janikowski bangs it through. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
An extremely durable player, had 210 consecutive starts in the NFL before missing one in 2017. And when you have to deal with him in the playoffs and a Super Bowl's on the line, Eli Manning's at the top of his game.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action. Now Manning. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Now Zare Jones with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Manning. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally, you can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Manning. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big 30-yard play on third.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Manning now on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Barkevious Mingo in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And that is incomplete. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Manning. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out, and that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Manning to throw on second down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Calling no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on third and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And Dixon over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Throwing again here, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. First down, the run with Lynch. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a give to Lynch. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Michael Thomas on the stop.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now Wilson on 1st down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Wilson. And Dixon has it. And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 3rd down, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And New York set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a play fake. Madden. He's going to fire one deep over into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're...
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, it's an offense. You know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Returnable here from the 38. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. Eli Manning and company getting set here as they head back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Manning again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Giants on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Manning. And incomplete here on 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This is complete. It's Baldwin. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. On the handoff, Lynch. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. The tackle by Janoris Jenkins. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On second down, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll go down, but not before getting us inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Bobby Wagner leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On 1st down, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. To throw again is Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 16. Wilson will throw again. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for New York. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, able to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. From the gun on third down, Manning. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I feel like Eli Manning has just gone from downfield bomber to a guy who can complete everything.
He can hit him underneath now, can't he?
Yeah, we just saw that there with that pass completion. The maturity of a veteran taking what the defense will give him.
Manning now, he's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10. To throw is Manning. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Here's a give to Barkley. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Again, it's Barkley. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And they'll go on the ground. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On second down, here's Barkley. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. Now Manning. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Russell Shepard from 4 yards out. And the Giants have tied it here, and they can take the lead if they hit the PAT. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. But you got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's Wilson to throw. Completes it to Dixon. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Handoff comes to Lynch. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. A little juke. And now running right through it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Manning now on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Madden, and he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. From the gun, it's Manning. He's going to fire one deep. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's had a good 3rd quarter. He likes whatever adjustments were made at halftime, whether those were team adjustments or just him talking to himself.
And whatever that conversation was, it was pretty good because he is running really well here in the 3rd quarter. But I like to think it is a team adjustment. Offensive line, those big escorts of his, they figured out how to block a little bit better. He's found those holes to run through.
He has indeed.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll let it go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the run, it's Barkley. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Manning. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Giants on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Shotgun now for Manning. And Ingram hauls it in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And that is incomplete. The veteran Byron Maxwell forcing the incompletion.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you...
Now the ball comes loose. And who's got it? The Giants! Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board.
And he's got his man, Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, 32 yards. And the Giants take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie it. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that cat?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Wilson on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson now throwing again. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Barkley. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive. It
is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the ball is knocked out. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Wilson on second down. And Dixon has it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just let him bleed the game out that way.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Baldwin. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
He has indeed. They'll run it again with Barkley. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now it's Barkley. A gain of 3, second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. This is Barkley. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
The Giants on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Rhett Ellison from 21 yards away. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught inside the 25.
Holding, offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now Wilson throwing the out route incomplete. It's Baldwin. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. To throw again is Wilson. His throw incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Play action. Now Wilson. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They were looking for Marshall that time. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now out come the Giants. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.